Hello and good morning, Sudoku friends. Well, it's morning here. It's 4 and everything is quiet still. The first Vietnamese will start rising in about half an hour at 4:30. I didn't get to do the El País puzzle yesterday, and the reason was kind of silly. I discovered a new coffee shop. Well, I discovered new to me a coffee shop very close to here that had been flying under my radar for a couple of months because there is no advertising and they are not on Google Maps. So, what really distracted me yesterday was after I went in there for the first time and I talked to the owners, they're a delightful Vietnamese couple of 50 and 46 years of age. I was talking to the wife, and she told me that she's never in her life been outside the city or town, I should say, because afterwards I went home and I Googled the size of this town where I am, and it has about 341,000 inhabitants, which to me is a town rather than a city. But never mind that. I was just stunned to learn that she's been living here and her family for 46 years without leaving. And that kind of just threw me off of Sudokus for the rest of the day, I have to admit. Well, enough about that. I am now looking at screen scrape of a Sudoku from El País. Once again, it's classified by them as an expert Sudoku. I don't do any other levels of Sudokus from El País because I think that they would be rather boring for you to watch and for me to solve. So looking at this puzzle here, I see a couple of eights blocking across, and I see this eight blocking here and this eight blocking here. So an eight must go here, clearly. I also see a six and a seven here and a six and a seven here. They force a six and a seven to go in these two squares. And since we already have 1 6 blocking up, it is clear that the 7 must go here and the 6 must go here. And that naturally prompts me to have a look at what else is going on in the top row. We only need 3 more numbers, and they must be a 1, 9, and 5. And funny enough, I can't place any of those yet. So I won't. So I'm just letting my eyes fly over the rest of the puzzle, and I'm seeing the 4 blocking up. One of these is a 4 blocking down. There's 4 blocks down. And there's 4 blocks over. So one of these is going to be a 4. And it is quite clear that the 4 must go in the upper row because there's 4 blocks here and here. So there is no question that this must be the 4. Now I'm interested in the 7s, and the reason I'm interested is that we have this 7 blocking across and this 7 blocking down. Therefore, I know that one of these must be a 7, and this 7 goes 7 blocks across. This 7 also blocks across, and this 7 blocks down. So a 7 goes here, and now I can see these two 7s blocking down, giving me a 7 for this square. And now I just can't help myself looking at these 3 squares. There must be a 1, 9, and a 3. Again, I don't seem to be able to do much except 3, of course, must go here or here. And while I'm thinking about the 3s, I also see that a 3 can't go anywhere in the center shoot but here and here now, because this 3 blocks across here, giving me a 3 here or here, blocking across. This 3 blocks across. So 3 goes here or here, and also here, 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 or here. And that leaves only these 2 squares for a 3 in the center shoot, as I said. I'm trying to speak in a somewhat lower voice because my balcony door is open and I don't really want to wake up any neighbors. Let me have a look at these 3 squares. They also must be a 1 and a 9. You know, we only have 1 1 and 1, 9 in the grid so far. So it's clear that 1s and 9s will surface in most of this analysis. So a 1, 9 and a 2 for these squares. And again, there is no way for me to determine which goes where. So I need to have another angle of attack. The 6s are pretty restricted. We have 6s blocking here. So a 6 for row 4 must go either here or here, because the 6 also blocks here, right? So, and we also need to find a 2, 3, and a 9 for the row. That also seems to be quite a challenge. So instead, I'm now looking at this 5. It blocks up and this 5 blocks over. So a 5, of course, must go here. And now I immediately have to look down. It's very compelling. Every time you find a number that you look for ramifications. And here, of course, the ramification is that a 5 must go here. Now I need to look across like so. See these 5s blocking and this 5 blocking down. So 5 goes here. Now the 5 blocks up, this 5 blocks over, so does this, and this blocks down. 5 therefore goes here. And we just need to find a 5 now for one of these squares here. That should be pretty easy because everything is blocked by 5s except for this square. So here's a 5. And now 1 and a 9 for these two squares. And I still can't do anything about those. Except I know, well, I am getting a little closer. This can't be a 9, so a 9 goes here, here, or here. And therefore here or here. So we can make some assumptions about the 9s, but that's all we can make at the moment. We can also make a few assumptions about 8s. This 8 blocks down here and this 8 blocks across. So we know that one of these must be an 8. And these two 8s block these 3 squares. So an 8 in the bottom row, row 9, has got to go here or here. And we also have this 2 blocking here, and here we have this 2 blocking here. So it is clear that a 2 and an 8 must go in these 2 squares in some order. That means that 1, 3, and a 7 must go in these squares. The 1 blocks down, so now we know that one of these is a 1. The 7, of course, can go here and here, and the 3 can go. I think we have established that a 3 must go here or here, haven't we? Yes, we have. Since the 1 also blocks down, we can safely enter a 7 here. The 7 blocks across, the 7 blocks down, so a 7 must go here. Can we get any closer here now? We still need to find a 9, 3, and a 6. So we know that one of these is 3. Now the 6 blocks here as well. So 3 and 6 go here, therefore this must be a 9. Now we have a 9 blocking across here. These are 2 and 8. Therefore this must be a 9, and that gives me a 1 up here and a 9 here. See how easy it is to figure out numbers when puzzles are as accessible as this one is. Let's have another go at these two. They were 2 and 8, therefore these must be a 1 and a 6. The 1 blocks down, so here's a 6 and here is a 1. 2 and 8 here, therefore 1 and a 3 here. We can't solve them yet, but that means that this must be a 4, which now blocks up, while this one blocks down. This one blocks across, giving me this 4 here. A 1 and a 3 here, not ready to be solved yet. A 2 and an 8 here, also not yet ready. We can begin thinking a little bit more about the 9s. The 9 blocks here, the 9 blocks here, the 9 blocks here. So a 9 goes here, here, or here. We can do something about the 7s. We have a couple of 7s blocking these squares here, and we have the 7 blocking here. So here's a 7. We know that these are 3 and 6. These therefore must be a 2, 8, and a 9. Can't really do much about it. This is a 2 or a 9, but that's all I can say about it. So I look elsewhere for the next number. And I think I've spotted where a 3 must go. Well, approximately a 3 must go here or here. And the reason I'm saying that is that this 3 blocks here, one of these is a 3, therefore this can't be a 3. So one of these must be a 3. And we are going to have a 6 either here or here, because we have 6s or 6 candidates in these 2 squares and therefore not in this. The 6, of course, has got to go here because we have a 6 blocking down and up. So here's a 6. And now our friends, the 3 and the 9 and the 2, must go across here. And we have figured out that one of these was a 3, didn't we? So now we know that this one is a 3 because we took away this square and gave it to the 6. A 2 and a 9 now for these squares. This 3, by the way, blocks down. So here's a 3 and here's a 1. The last number here must be a 9. And these must be a 1 and a 2. Therefore, this has got to be a 3. And these must be a 1 and a 2. There's something funny happening here. I'm not quite sure I can see what is happening, but I'm noticing that the 3, 6, 8, and 9 must go in these 5 squares. We got a 6, 8, and a 3 blocking here. And we also have an 8 and a 9 blocking here. We know that a 6 is blocking here and here. It's really complicated, but also something that might turn out to be a very nice pattern. Things are a little more complicated because of the scarcity of the 2s, the 3s and the 9s, and of course the 1s. But it's looking better than when we started. I am seeing the outline of a unique rectangle. It may be necessary for me to go that route. We have a 1 and a 2 in these 2 squares. This 1 blocks down, this 1 blocks up. So one of these is going to be a 1. And altogether we'll have a 1, 2, and a 9 for these squares. So if this is a 1, 2, and this is a 1, 2, this is a 1, 2, 9, we know that one of these must be a 9. Otherwise, let's say the 9 goes up here, then we had a 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here, and 1, 2 here. And that would be a unique rectangle and signify an invalid puzzle because it would not have a unique solution. So we can safely assume that one of these is a 9, 9 blocks over here. So yes, this has got to be the 9. And this is now a 1, 2 pair. And the 1, of course, forces the 2 to go here and the 1 here. That gives me a 1 here and a 2 here. We have a 9 blocking up, so a 9 goes here, and this must be a 4, which blocks across. This 4 blocks up. Here's a 4. And where are we at now? Well, we had a 2, 9 going on here, didn't we? Now the 9 forces a 2 to go here and a 9 here. And this 2, on the other hand, forces an 8 to go here because now this must be a 2. Up here, we're looking still for a 1 and a 3, I believe. The 3 blocks over here. So, of course, this is a 3 and this is a 1. So this 3 blocks down, this 3 blocks across. So a 3 goes here, must be a 1. And that gives me a 1 here, of course, and a 9 here. So let me look here. We are looking for a 4, and the 4 blocks over, so this can't be a 4. And the last number here, therefore, must be a 6, which now gives me a 3 here and a 6, because we have analyzed that already. The 3 blocks over, so here's a 3, and here's an 8, blocking across. So here's another 8, and therefore an 8 here. We need to find a 2 for this square and a 2 for this. And a 2 for this. And that's it for this puzzle. A very nice, straightforward logic requiring us to employ a unique rectangle. I'm sure that some of you found other ways of doing it, but the unique rectangle to me today was a very straightforward path. Thank you for watching and bye for now.